Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Chris Fitzsimon, in what might be considered a preview of next year's governor's race, we have the battle of the letters. Governor Roy Cooper sent a letter to teachers explaining that he vetoed a mini budget with teacher pay raises because it wasn't enough. Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest followed up, sending a letter of his own saying Cooper was blocking their pay increases and Republicans had done a lot for teachers in their tenure. Your reactions on this war of letters, Chris?
Well, it seems to me the general election has started before the primary election, before filing was over. I think this is largely about politics. The governor, I think, is sincere, believes they ought to have a higher pay raise. Dan Forrest knows that for the most part, whether I think it's correct, whether it's right or not, people believe that Democrats want to spend more on public schools. That is a fact, or whether they want to help teachers more. So this is the opening, not even the opening, another salvo in the gubernatorial campaign. It is interesting that Lieutenant Governor Forrest makes a lot of claims about education spending and forgets to talk about inflation and a lot of other things. But it was a political document. It had nothing to do with the facts.
Did any one of them score points here, John?
I doubt it. But you know who really didn't score points was the process that we have for protecting public employees from being campaigned. This governor should never have sent this letter. The lieutenant governor shouldn't have sent the letter either, but I suppose he had to respond. Why in the world are we allowing a governor to get a hold of the emails of public employees and sending them campaign material? It's just inappropriate.
Yeah, because the Hatch Act won't let them participate.
But those emails are publicly available.
I understand that, but the governor should by no means have ever done this in the first place. I wish we hadn't done this with competing emails to public employees from sitting public officials. It just doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
Yeah, so you agree nobody won here?
Oh, I agree nobody won, but I think again, I think this is a taste of what's coming if Lieutenant Governor Forrest is the nominee, which I think is likely.
If you're a teacher, what's your takeaway from all of this?
I think that if you're a Democratic teacher, you probably agree with Cooper. If you're a Republican teacher, you agree with Forrest. And remember, the vast majority of teachers, do not belong to NCAE. They're not particularly political. They probably were annoyed at getting both letters.
Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, I think they probably were, but I do think that I think the majority of teachers, whether they're NCAE members or not, are disappointed in the funding and the cuts that have been made to public education in their classrooms and otherwise in the last couple of years.
And we're supposed to be doing something about this in January when the legislature comes back into session. Is that correct?
You mean getting the budget overridden?
Well, pay for teachers and state employees.
Let's first see if the Senate gets the budget overridden.
You think that's a possibility?
I don't think it's the most likely outcome, but it's not impossible.
Our first prediction for 2020. Well, thank you for watching the Afterspin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.